Mimic the Octopus is a clean Sonic villain. And I honestly just want to talk about his future in the story, his backstory that we gotten quite recently in his anniversary, etc., etc. This is going to be a yap fest. It's also going to be a little teensy weensy bit of theory crafting. Honestly, it's not much of a theory. It's pretty thrown in our face. But I do want to talk about him breaking up the Diamond Cutters in this next upcoming arc. First, an origin needs to be forged. And let's go to the Sonic anniversary in order to show it off. This is what I mean by it's kind of shoved in our face. His whole main gimmick is like messing up Whisper's life. And if her whole shtick right now is the Diamond Cutters, him getting rid of that aspect just makes sense. But peep his dialogue because it fits his character so well. It's phenomenal.
Who are you? What is an identity? A collection of traits absorbed from others. Perhaps you too are a doll, ready to be made. Who's to say? We all wear a porcelain facade, and only I am brave enough to embrace it.
Coming from a shapeshifter, that line just hits hard. We then actually get to start touching on his backstory where you learn in Sonic Forces when Eggman started taking over the planet that he too was affected like most other individuals, but thanks to his shapeshifting capabilities he blended right in order to escape. Over time, we end up learning that Mimic's actually been a part of multiple teams, but all of them perish, all because he's selfish. He values his own survivability over all else.
It's a shame, really. My skills were never appreciated despite their wondrous rarity. Then I realized every single one of them played a character, but none knew they were pretending. From their rehearsed, "Are you okay?" to their personalities, it's all just a mask. Why could only I see through it? I discovered something in the wall. Everyone has a little emptiness inside. We all utilize activities like the arts or playing hero as a way to cover the void within. As if it's something to be ashamed of. Yearning for others, wanting to be seen, it's childish. A way to cover up one's own empty void when I shouldn't hide it. Is being nothing the truest version of?
That's when a character who directly challenges his ideals show up. Someone who values friendships, compatriotism, companionship to its utmost highest value. Whisper the Wolf. Not just Whisper, he ends up joining the entirety of the Diamond Cutters. Now with Mimic a part of the group, they take on a big ass project, raiding an Eggman base. Mimic made one fatal mistake. He underestimated Eggman's tech as they found him as a flaw. And right before he thought it was all over, Whisper and the Diamond Cutters themselves come to rescue him. The contrast of him being the one to abandon everyone in these scenarios, for him to be the one in trouble just to be saved, is again a clash of ideals. Eventually the group ends up making it back to the base where they get this very happy reunion and honestly have a very pivotal bonding moment between the group. And you know they do because they give you the cliche bold moment, the Diamond Cutters. You know this was hitting hard for the group, but Mimic is still feeling like an outcast.
I got what I wanted.
After some dialogue.
Did I just crave validation? Was it ever about the spotlight? I can't be myself around them. They don't know what I've done. Friendship is supposed to feel good, solid like a foundation. So why does it hurt so much? They don't see I'm a walking contradiction. One look past my facade and I'll be thrown away. I can't afford to be so fragile. I look back at my acting days with a soul-wrenching truth staring right back at me. the more things change, the more they stay the same. It's a rear-headed charade. They're all mirrors saying what I want to hear until they get what they want. They can't be trusted. I refuse to play their game anymore.
Mimic then starts to break down in depth how he just wants to betray the diamond cutters basically, and how he wants to free himself of this quote unquote burden, at least to himself. But every time something he was gonna plan happens, Whisper was there as his antithesis, as his opposite to challenge his ideals. He sees Whisper as a poison to his character. So when he says, "Only with this knife will I be cleansed," he is saying to him that she is a purity, and once she's gone, he can be free again. But eventually Sonic and Tails comes up. They tell us, hey, get ready to read for this next arc, and they end up heading out. Wow. Mimic sits in the shadows alone.
I can't think straight tonight. What is the point of reflecting all these memories? Am I just afraid, or am I just tired? Soon that pain deep within myself will be washed away, and this can be all a bad, bad dream. I'm selfish, arrogant, and colder than a frozen lake. I enjoy the chase, watching others struggle, and I love that about me. I know what I am. So, who are you?
That whole bit basically ties into issue 76 and the whole arc following after. The whole restoration is trying to recover, so they split up doing their own thing. And as we can see on the cover, Lion, Tangle, and Whisper all separated. This is more than likely due to the gang breaking up because Mimic hates Whisper and is trying to ruin her life any way that's possible. They teased this pair already, but I would love to see Whisper hang with Silver for a little bit if the Diamond Cutters end up splitting off and she has to do her own thing, because this is a very underrated duo, I can't lie to you. All in all, I hope this little small arc thing isn't the end of Mimic's character. Like, I don't want them to like murk him off or anything. I actually want him to be long term, because like he said, the glorious gift of shapeshifting is so rare within Sonic, and he could turn the whole comic series upside down. Because if, let's say they set him up where we don't know after this arc who he is or who he's transformed into, and then they go into the next arc acting like he could be someone else. Like, imagine he is Sonic, legitly, and then this whole time people are thinking like, oh yeah, this is just normal Sonic, just to find out that it's not. Or that's just an example, but it could be anybody. Tails, Amy, Silver, Blaze, etc, etc. He has the potential to be a top tier Sonic villain. The thing I'm really curious about is the Diamond Cutter stuff is kind of thrown in our face, but this Chaos Emerald snippet at the end of issue 75 is kind of left ambiguous. Does Mimic have a role in manipulating the Chaos Emeralds? Will we see a super Mimic, or is there a even greater villain that we're gonna see later on? I can't wait to... Sonic series is cooking. I keep trying to tell y'all are missing out. This is like honestly, probably a top 10 ongoing series right now. And in terms of video game series, it's easily a top 3 comic series out there. One thing I do know for sure, I do want to see Mimic, Whisper, Tangle, Bell, Urgent Kit. I want them all in a video game. They all top tier characters within the IDW series. I want to see that transcribed in a game format, especially with there being like game specific characters like Sage, for example, that I would love to see interact with the cast. All in all, I want the IDW verse to expand. If not in the video games, make the like universe larger. Like, keep this like split up thing with the characters a long-term thing, so we get to develop them solo and honestly introduce new characters even across time. Honestly, give me more multiversal stuff. That would be dope to see in here. I understand it's more grounded outside like the games, but I would love this to expand further than what we've gotten so far. We have Blaze. Now imagine we interact with other universe iterations of Sonic. That would be heat.